Welcome to the final flight of Air India 171. I'm your captain for this journey. We have a very busy day ahead of us, so let's start the story. It is 12:30 p.m. on June 12, 2025, at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad. The terminal buzzes with energy. Families bound for London's Gatwick queue at the gates. Students returning to school abroad and business travellers dialing last-minute calls. In total, 230 passengers and 12 crew are preparing for the 9-hour flight linking Gujarat to the heart of the UK's Indian diaspora. Now, our flight starts like any other. At 11:55 a.m., the crew signs in. Captain Sumat Sabharwal, 56, is a veteran with over 15,000 hours logged, most of them on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. His first officer, Clive Kunda, just 32, carries 3,400 hours. His mother had flown with Air India for 3 decades. The airline is in his blood, and both these men will soon become statistics. Neither will live to tell the tale. Both pass their routine breathalyzer tests. Both know this route well. But in less than 2 hours, neither will live to tell the tale. The passengers board by 12:45 p.m. The jet is fueled. 54,000 kilos of fuel for the transcontinental crossing. The temperature on the tarmac is a sweltering 36 degrees Celsius. Hot air means thin air. The Dreamliner will need every meter of runway 23 to get airborne. At 1:10 p.m., the pilots run through their checklist. All normal, they taxi to the runway. At 1:27 p.m., they line up. At 1:37 p.m., clearance comes. Air India 171, winds 240 at 6, runway 23, clear for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 23, Air India 171. Captain Sabharwal acknowledges. He sets the Dreamliner into motion. First Officer Kunda pushes the thrust levers forward. The Dreamliner surges, engines howling, gathering speed V1, VR V2. The nose lifts. The aircraft clears the perimeter wall barely 60 feet above the ground. Inside the packed canteen of BJ Medical College, students laugh over lunch, unaware that death is seconds away. Then everything goes wrong. As the Dreamliner claws for altitude, a sudden crisis erupts in the cockpit. Both fuel cutoff switches snap to OFF. Engines wind down. Silence replaces thrust. Startled, the crew exchange words caught on the cockpit voice recorder. "Why did you turn it off?" "I didn't do it." The aircraft, heavy with fuel, begins to sink. The pilots fight to regain control. They need to turn around. The Dreamliner is too heavy to stay airborne. The airport is close behind them. They must land back. This plane cannot glide. At 1 hour 39 minutes and 9 seconds p.m., just 90 seconds after liftoff, the Dreamliner clips treetops inside the Army Medical Corps compound. Its nose gear strikes a tall chimney, tearing away instantly. The jet lurches forward, nose still pitched up, as the pilots desperately pull for altitude. But there is none left to gain. At 1 hour, 39 minutes and 10 seconds, the fuselage smashes into Building A of BJ Medical College. The tail snaps off. The right wing shears away against another building. Engines disintegrate. A massive fireball engulfs the complex. Within 2.5 seconds, the aircraft is reduced to fragments. All 242 souls on board perish. Several students in the canteen below are also killed. The question everybody has is why? Why did the flight end here? Let's find out. As authorities work to identify the victims, piecing together the last moments of their lives, a team begins combing through the wreckage. What caused this disaster? When investigators arrive, they recover the black boxes. The rear flight recorder is destroyed in the inferno. The forward unit survives. But India's accident investigation bureau lacks the equipment to extract its data. They must wait for a golden chassis to arrive from the United States. From what little data emerges, a shocking fact is clear. The fuel cutoff switches were physically moved to OFF, not a software glitch, not a false reading. The switches themselves, but how investigators explore 4 possibilities. Mechanical failure ruled out. Software override, TCMA impossible, because both engines restarted briefly later. Accidental bump, unlikely. The switches are heavily guarded. Deliberate action, chilling but possible. The mystery deepens when the emergency locator transmitter ELT, designed to survive even catastrophic crashes, never activated. Like the rear black box, it was destroyed. For many, this raises unsettling questions. How could safety-critical devices fail their one purpose? Meanwhile, across the city, families wait anxiously for news, their worst fears already realized. A son cradles his father's phone, a wife clutches a goodbye message, a mother weeps silent tears. After days of painstaking analysis, the golden chassis arrives from the US. Extracting data from the forward black box becomes a race against time before weather conditions compromise the jet's remains. What they find is devastating confirmation. At 1 hour 37 minutes and 59 seconds, seconds before takeoff, the right engine's fuel oil flow switch was turned off. 6 seconds later, the left engine's switch suffered the same fate. Who did it and why? There are no answers. In the absence of a definitive cause, speculation runs rampant. Was this an act of sabotage, a tragic error, or something more sinister? But the truth remains elusive. In the weeks that follow, India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation imposes a slew of recommendations on Air India, mandating simulator training for crew on emergency fuel scenarios. But these measures feel like drops in the ocean of grief. As the investigation stalls, theories multiply. Did a disgruntled passenger target the flight? Could mechanical malfunction really disable both switches? Or did the pilots make a fatal miscalculation? The lack of clarity only adds to the tragedy. For the families of the victims, the pain is unbearable. They seek justice, Answers: closure. Each day without them is a struggle. Parents grow old without children. Spouses face life alone. Holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, all marked by absence. Amidst the grief, questions linger about the ELT. If it failed to send a distress signal, could lives have been saved? And if so, why? The world grapples with the possibility that a device meant to be a beacon of hope could have malfunctioned in the crucial moments after the crash. As the investigation edges closer to its conclusion, one disturbing theory gains traction. Could this tragedy have been deliberate? Was someone on board planning to bring down the aircraft? The thought chills everyone to the bone. If true, then who would want to do such a thing, and why? The potential motives range from terrorism to personal vendetta, but each scenario only deepens the mystery. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, yet the pain remains as fresh as the day they lost their loved ones. Some find solace in shared grief, others retreat into solitude. The weight of their sorrow knows no bounds. Through it all, the world waits for answers. With each passing day, hope dwindles that the truth will ever be uncovered. Will we ever know the cause of this tragedy? Finally, after months of investigation, the report is complete. It reveals the unthinkable. Deliberate action by an unknown perpetrator is confirmed beyond doubt. But the motive remains unclear. With no surviving evidence, the true intent may never be known. Was this an act of terrorism, a personal vendetta, or something else entirely? The report leaves more questions than answers. What emerges is a stark warning about the fragility of air travel. A single, seemingly innocuous action can bring down an aircraft. It underscores the gravity of safety protocols and the constant vigilance required in the skies. In the aftermath, Air India implements stringent security measures. Every precaution is taken to prevent a recurrence. But the scars run deep. This was the final flight of Air India 171. Thank you for flying with us today. Stay safe until we meet again.